Hi everyone, good morning, good evening. So, welcome back to my Tech Stack Learning YouTube channel. I hope you have watched my couple of other real-time projects on the Node.js. I have posted two projects. One is real-time chat application, another one is creating an API, a microservice that's basically CRUD operations. And this is the third project which I'm trying to do today is about URL shortening. So I hope everybody has an idea what is this, the URL shortening. It's like uh, converting the long URLs into short ones, something similar to the bitly. So before we get started, if you like my channel, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you are interested on specific topics, please provide in the comment box. I can surely get those sessions arranged for you guys. So let's dig in, guys. So in this projects where I'm going to show a couple of things, that is shortening a long URL, how to retrieve the original URL from the shortened one, and redirecting to the original URL when accessing the shortened link. Okay, so first let's see how the project setup looks like. So let me just create a URL shortening project folder inside my project uh, main project. So let me key URL shortener. Okay, and then what I'll do here is I'm just going to create um, a server dot js, and before that I should be able to install my modules, whatever is required for this particular project. So let me go to my directory, and let me do npm install express. That's for sure it is required to create an API. Then body parser to parse the request body. Then we need a nano id to create a generic uid. Okay, so let that get installed. Meanwhile, since I had couple of things already available, so it has not, but these are the modules which is required for our current project. So now let's anyways, we have created the server.js. Let's go ahead and write the whatever is required for us. Okay, so for us, first let's create express server. So uh, express. Okay, so we have created we will import, we have imported the express. We also need to import the body parser. So I will be importing body parser. Then I will also have to import nano id require of nano id. Okay, so these are the three modules which I'll be required for my application. Okay, now let's create an app. If you are not familiar on the Express framework, I have a special separate session on this in my channel. You can go ahead and watch the same. So const port, I'll be giving 5000 as my port. Then what we will do is we will just set up the middleware, that is body parser. Okay, and that is very much required to parse our request body. Okay, so JSON, this is what the middleware I'm going to use for this particular thing. Okay, then since we will not give any database connection here, so what I'll do is I'll be giving that in memory database. Okay, so here I'll be using URL database equal to this. Okay, so I can just make it as shorten database. Okay, so now what we will do is we will have to create at least 2 to 3 routes for us to navigate and do our work. Okay, first is shorten a URL. So that is the first route which we need to create. So I'll give, it would be a post route because we need to pass the URL as well, right? So shorten, then we will have request dot response, then I'll have what is that I am going to do, right? That is basically the concept of shortening the URL. Okay, so I'll put like I'll fetch from body. Okay, so I'll be fetching the long URL from the requested body. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll check if it is empty. I should throw an error, right? Long URL. If not long URL, then I have to throw an error. Return response dot status of 400. Then I'll give dot JSON of what is the error, right? Um, error colon, I'll give message like long URL is required. I'll just give the same name because the request body we're expecting this is the field. Okay, so this is what about the error scenario. Okay, now assume if we have the URL with us, right? Now what we will do is we'll start the logic of how to get the short URL, right? So first I'm going to create a nano ID which will be 7-digit number. uh, Nano ID, so basically 7-character ID I'll be creating. Okay, so yeah, once that is done, what I'll do is I have my URL the shortened database that's in memory variables which I have created. Short ID, I'm just mapping this with my long URL so that it can be tracked later as well, right? Then what I'll do is I'm returning the response dot JSON of then short URL colon, then I'm going to give um, I'm going to give http colon local host colon uh, we have this port, right? uh, port. Okay, and then I'll be just giving slash, and then again I'll be passing the short ID. Okay, short ID. Okay, so this is what I'm going to um, return as a response. Okay, this is basically for creating a shortened URL. Okay, now we'll also have to redirect, right? We need to have some method which will actually do a redirect from the shortened to the actual original URL, right? So here we will create redirect to the original URL. Okay, so I have am dot get of what I'll do here is I'll put it will be short ID. Okay, assume we are going to pass the short ID. Okay, then we'll have request dot response. Okay, then we will be just pulling the short ID from our parameters what we pass, right? So from the parameters we are going to pull the short ID. Okay, so this is how it looks. Then what we will do is long ID, long URL equal to URL shorten of database, that is where the in-memory database we have, right? Then what we will do is we'll try to get the based on the given short ID, we're trying to get the long ID, long URL. Okay, so again we will have to check if it doesn't exist, then we will have to give a um, we have to say that uh, short URL is not found, means which is not generated, right? So that is what we will put. Okay, short URL not found. Okay, this is about the checking the condition. And finally, once if we have the URL, that is, you will have to just redirect them to the long URL. Okay, so this is about the redirecting from long short URL to the original URL. Okay, now let's see how we can view, since we have all the details stored in the in-memory database or the web variable, right? So we can also create one get method for all uh, for debugging in case, right? In case if required. So I'll create app.get of I'll put URLs. Okay, then I'll have a request dot response. Okay, okay. Then what I'll do is I'll just return that. Uh, I don't have to do any logic as such. Whatever the things are available in my URL shortened database, it's going to return. Okay. So now we are done with all the endpoints. Now let's listen to the server. Okay. So I'll have port colon. Okay. Then we have console.log of uh, server running on port. So I'll just put dollar. This is all template literal syntax. So there is another session which I have done on this. You may check if you are more interested on this kind of syntax and things. Okay. So I think we are done with her code. So what we did is we created an Express server. We have created three endpoints, basically one shortening endpoint, one to hit the short ID and then redirect, and the last one is the URLs. Okay. Now let's try to run the server. Okay. Okay. So we have our server running. Okay. So now what we will do here is we will just go ahead and hit the postman and check. Okay, so let me create new. So for me this is going to be first. Okay, post it is http colon localhost, this is my endpoint. Okay, then body it will be JSON. Okay, so what I'll do is I have this long URL. This is what my long URL looks like. Okay, then I'm going to hit this endpoint. Seems to be nano ID is not a function. Let's see. Nano ID is not a function. Okay, so I have to do this way. Okay. So let me rerun this. Let's hit it again and check. You can see it has given you the shortened URL. Okay, now let's try to hit this URL and check it out. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pick this and I'll go to this catch and I'll hit this as is. Okay, and you can see this is my URL and this is the actual URL it has redirected to. Okay, so this is the example. This is the actual, this is what the URL is. So, right, this is the this is the content of this URL here which you are seeing here. Okay, This is how the redirect is happening. Now if I have to see the all the URLs being generated, right? Let's see. Short URL not found. Let's see what's happening here. um, let me just, okay, let me restart my server once and we'll see. Okay, let me create one more. Let's hit this and see. This is empty now. You can see no, nothing is there. Let me try to create another one. Okay, and let me hit this and see if the redirect is happening. Yes, it is happening. Now let me just hit back the slash endpoint URL. Okay, I can see there is a short ID and the long URL mapped to it. Okay, so this is basically this is how we have this URL shortening concept, which is something similar to the Bitly. Okay, so as a next step to this project, you can still add a database like MongoDB or persistent databases. And also you can also implement the expiration for the short URLs. That's very much required, right? Then yeah, these are the two additional enhancements you can add on top of this project. Okay, that's the end of this small project related to the URL shortening using Node.js. So as I told, on top of this, you can enhance it by adding the expiration and adding the persistent database, which I will try to cover maybe in the upcoming sessions. So if you like my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and please use this session and let me know your feedback on any places where it needs to be improved. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next session.